Hello, and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses for another live stream. I think that's 4 days in a row now. So thanks to everyone in the chat already who's been waiting patiently. I've been getting some slack in the chat for being late. Don't blame me, blame Martin. I'm only joking. Today, of course, I am joined by Martin, who is, of course, a Southampton fan. How are you doing today, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Looking forward to the weekend's game. Excited for it. Bit nervous. We need to find the first win very, very quickly, don't we? So, yes, it's a big one this weekend.
Of course, mate. Just before we get started, just give everyone a shout out as well of where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me over on my YouTube channel at @footballmartin_. Obviously, I'm a Southampton fan, but I don't just create Southampton content. I create content around the Premier League at this moment in time because that's the league that my team find themselves in, and I'm doing quite a bit on the survival, Premier League survival, and staying up. So there's a nice little series I put up, and Lux kindly come onto my channel as well, actually. So yeah, got some really good bits coming your way. So make sure you do subscribe to my channel and give me a follow as well.
Lovely stuff. Let's just get a few comments up on screen. See who's here. The final whistle, of course, Jack, which I know you know Jack very well, Martin.
No, Jack, very well.
Dawn is here. Dawn's here. Evening to you, Dawn. As you can see, Dawn's got a little icon next to her name because she is a member of the channel. So thank you for the support, Dawn, as always. LCFC fan says always had a soft spot for the Saints. Used to getting on all fours for us and open the back door. Oh, come on! Don't lower the tone, Akif. Rags is here. Evening, lads. Even to you, mate. And finally, Clemo as well. Even to you, Clemo. Right, Martin. So this weekend we have a massive game in the Premier League: Leicester City or Southampton versus Leicester City. As LCFC fan 15 alluded to, last season we did do the double against you guys. It was a poor showing from you on both occasions. Before we get into the game this weekend specifically, I want to know what your expectations were for this season, because as Leicester, you were a newly promoted team. So what were you expecting?
I was expecting a really tough season. I thought our fixtures were quite kind to us, actually, in terms of our opening 7. They weren't horrific. Let's be honest. We had Newcastle away to start with, never an easy place to go. We then have Forest at home, and you think of Forest at home, they were down the sort of bottom end. They scrapped relegation last year. We had them at home. We had to go to Brentford away. Yeah, we had Man United thrown in that as well. But we had Bournemouth and Ipswich as before this last international break. And I thought there was games in there where you could be potentially targeting points. And yeah, we've just not been able to get anywhere near what we needed to do, get on the board. We've got the 1 point on the board, which was a draw against Ipswich at St Mary's. Probably should have been a win, but weren't good enough on the day to finish it off and go on and kill the game off. It was 1-1 late into stoppage time, and they went and scored. So, yeah, it's been tough, but I expected it. I expected a really, really tough season ahead. But I thought we'd have a few more points on the board. I've got to be quite honest.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Dawn says, so pleased the international break is over. Shame there will be another one coming up. 100%. So yeah, Martin, going into this game then, as you said, obviously you haven't got a win yet. Leicester have only just got their first win of the season against Bournemouth. For this game, I just spoke about your season expectations, but for this game, what do you want to see from Southampton? You know, how would you like to see Russell Martin approach the game?
I think all Southampton fans want to see one thing. They want to see us move the ball back to front quicker, because we don't. We play a lot with the ball in around our 18-yard box. And I think what happens in the Premier League, and I watched a really good video on it yesterday, you end up getting pressed a lot more in the Premier League. The players are a lot more fit and a lot more mobile. So it's harder to get out. And all that does is end up with your defence, your back line retreating towards the 18-yard box. So we end up with the ball around our 18-yard box. We don't have anywhere to go all the time. So to try and get out is really difficult. I think any Southampton fan will want to see now is a slightly different way to play football. Yeah, we know they probably stick to his principles and play this way, but I think he's been told from above. I'm pretty sure he has, because it's been linked enough on TalkSport that the ownership want to see change, not just in results, but in the way we're playing football. So I think he looked for different ways to play this weekend. A lot of us are calling for the big lad on our attitude to play up front, because he's big, he's physical, and he's strong. I want to see him start this weekend because I just feel he'd give us a different edge against Leicester. And we need to come up with a different way of playing football, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah, here's an interesting comment from For Fox's Sake, who says Southampton are too slow to build up under Martin and then get killed on transition. Style would work with better players. Hard to do it in the Prem. I mean, this is an interesting one. As you said, I've been recorded a video with you for your channel, but we mentioned this about the whole Burnley situation because, again, it's no coincidence that Bayern Munich have hired Vincent Kompany. They want the style, and they're aware that Burnley just didn't have the players to play it. Do you think that Southampton, your squad, is good enough to play how Russell Martin wants them to in the Premier League?
I'm not convinced. No, I don't think he does, really, to be honest. I think we're being found out really, really quickly. Like I said, the teams put press on you. You only have to look at what Bournemouth did at the Vitality a few Mondays ago. It was obvious that the way that they wanted to play football, and they just put a press on you and they smother you and they don't let you out, and they make you make mistakes. And the minute you do, they ping the ball 2-3 touches and they get shots off at goal. I think one of the sides that get the most shots off at goals in the league. And look, they were 3-0 up inside 33 minutes against us. Absolutely battered us. It was a terrible first half performance. So can he play it with the players he's got? Is a question you asked. No, I don't think we can. Players that you spoke to me in a show you've done with me about Harry Winks and how he's struggled a little bit back at Premier League level. Well, we've had Flynn Downs come in from West Ham, brilliant in the Championship last year. He's found it a little bit of a tough transition to the Prem. Harwood Bellis, the centre back, brilliant in the Championship last season, excelled, really struggling in the Premier League, and it seems to be the same across the pitch. Yeah, we've brought a few signings in. It's whether we can get the ball forward enough into our danger men, which we don't have enough of, and start to find ways to score goals. How do we score goals going forward? And that's what he needs to fathom out. He needs, first and foremost, he probably needs to tweak how he plays, but he needs to find out what his best 11 is, and he hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, 100%. Just a message for the chat. I mean, there's nearly 30 of you here, but there's only 8 likes on the video, so please hit the like button. That'll be very much appreciated. And as I said earlier on, please subscribe to Martin's channel as well. Dawn says, just hope Buonanotte can play on Saturday. LCFC fan says the GOAT and his understudy Leo Messi training together. Of course, Facundo Buonanotte is on international duty with Argentina. A comment here, a question for you, Martin, and please, everyone in the chat, keep getting your comments in. If you've got any questions for Martin, please do so. Ragsy says, does it feel like Martin is persisting with possession-based football, even though it doesn't suit you, for his own sake? So he's in a good stead for another job like Kompany going to buy? I mean, just before you answer, Martin, I don't think a manager in the Premier League would actively be thinking like that, but surely his eyebrows were raised when he saw Kompany go into Bayern and thinking, oh, hold on a sec, I could be on for a big job in the future too.
Yeah, the one thing I say about Vincent Kompany is that he had an incredible playing career, playing under one of the best managers in the Premier League, and what he did at City under Pep. So I think that kind of gives him that massive heads up. But yeah, I think it's a really good question and a really good point. And a lot of Southampton fans, I read a lot of fans forums, and there's a few fans actually saying that is what he's doing, that he's thinking about his next job, and they're not, they have a style that they want to stick to. And they will continue to play how they've set up as a management team at all the clubs he's been at, MK Dons, Swansea, now Southampton. He obviously worked last season to an extent, though we only just got up in the end. I think he will have to change this weekend. I think he's under massive pressure from the ownership group to play a different way. Whether he will or not, I don't know, but I hope he does, because I would fear for him if he doesn't get a result against Leicester, because we go to Man City the week after, which is, obviously you're never going to go to Man City and get anything. Then it's back home against Everton. So we're ticking off games quickly now. It's game week 8. It'll be 9 before you know it. Then you're 10 games in. Things have to change, and you have to start getting wins. It's a results-driven business, isn't it? Nobody wants to see the manager sacked. I don't want to see the manager sacked because I like him. I just hope he can adapt things for the Premier League, and inevitably that's what he's going to need to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, I want to start talking about the danger men then from Southampton's side of things for this weekend. Let's start with this guy though, because Anil for Fox's Sake TV has asked Tyler Dibbling. Talk to me a little bit about Tyler Dibbling, because I don't know too much about him, to be honest with you, mate, and I haven't watched much of Southampton this season. So tell me about him.
Well, I've raved about him for a long time, this young lad. He's been playing in our academy and he's been absolutely magnificent. Scored a hat-trick against Newcastle for the under-18s a couple of seasons ago. And he's magnificent. He's a brilliant player. He went off and played for Chelsea. So he signed for Chelsea. His contract expired at Southampton, I think. Anyway, he went off to Chelsea, got homesick, didn't like it. And Southampton found a way to bring him back. The season we got relegated, they brought him back sort of into the under-18s, 17s, 18s. He's been playing a bit with the under-21s. And he obviously showed a lot of potential. But he's broke through this season. Pre-season, he had a very good pre-season. I went on TNT Sport before the Man United game, and he was selected for that game. And I said to them, they said, is there any man that you could pick out? Who's the big surprise that day? And it was Tyler coming in. And I said, because I felt that he was going to score his Premier League game, got first goal in any game really soon before the international break that has just gone. I felt he was going to do it. He did it. I think he's magnificent. He's so good. He plays on the right side. He comes inside. He's fearless. Socks around his ankles, a bit like Jack Grealish. The way he kind of has his socks around the ankles, where he drops that shoulder. For an 18-year-old, he's pretty fearless, to be honest. He scored against Ipswich down at St Mary's in that 1-1 draw. And he's getting better and better. He's getting better and better. But he will play off the right side. He won't play as a number 9 like he did against Bournemouth. It didn't work, but he's definitely one to watch. He'd be one of the first names on the team sheet right now, to be quite honest.
Well, obviously, we did play each other twice, of course, last season, and there are some names that Leicester fans will be aware of. Obviously, one of the ones you mentioned was Flynn Downs, Taylor Harwood-Bellis as well, which was a player that actually Leicester were linked with at the start of last season before you signed him. He was one that we wanted to maybe play at the back under Enzo Maresca. I noticed that Adam Armstrong, of course, Kyler Walker-Peters, they were both on the bench for you guys against Ipswich. And you had obviously Cameron Archer as the starting number 9. Is that what you expect to be the case again, or?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one, and it's a good point to make. Adam Armstrong played the first 3 Premier League games for Saints, playing very wide on the touchline, played wide out on the right hand side. Ben Britt and Diaz played on the left side. New summer signings, not offered anything yet. I've not seen anything from him to suggest that he's going to do anything to help keep us in the Premier League. I may be wrong, maybe writing him off a little bit too early, but I feel for Armour. He had a couple of really tough games, didn't score. I think he's got probably a bit of a mental block there as well, because he struggled in the Premier League last time round. He scored 4 goals in 2 seasons, I think it was. It was tough for him. And I think his confidence is probably taking a bit of a battering. I think he might come back in against Leicester at the weekend. I think he needs his energy, his work rate. And I just think he's got a point to prove right now. And it'd be good to see him come back in the side. It's how you accommodate him and Tyler Dibbling, because Tyler's really took his position. Archer's played a little bit as an out-and-out 9 for Saints. He didn't start in that role against Arsenal. It was Ross Stewart started as the 9. He got injured. It's been a long run of injuries for him at the football club. I think Inuachu may come in and play it in the 9 this weekend against you guys. I think that could be the big shock, that it's Inuachu up front and he looked for Tyler Dibbling, maybe Adam Armstrong or someone else to play off the left side. Left side is a big problem for Southampton at the moment, because he doesn't really have anybody that's now down that left side, sort of like, that spot. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does.
It is interesting about Adam Armstrong, because whenever somebody's making the case or talking about how it's so difficult for a player to take their high level in the Championship up to the Premier League, people do often use Adam Armstrong as like an example for that. And it's kind of, well, I know it's early, it's come true again so far, but there is no doubt that obviously there's a hell of a player in there, and hopefully for you guys he can, not for Leicester, but hopefully for you guys he can start scoring some goals. Interesting one as well. I mean, answer me this, Martin. If Brereton Diaz starts for you, then that's an automatic loss, isn't it? Or an automatic, Leicester aren't going to lose the game. What's the statistic, isn't it? Remind me of what that is.
Oh, I need to look at it and double check it, but he's got the longest record for a player that without winning the game. The good news is, I'm pretty much 100% sure he won't start this one. He's not started since he played against the Ipswich game. He was dropped for the Ipswich game actually, and he's not played since then actually. But he's been really poor. Played off the left side, lack of work rate sometimes. Hopefully he doesn't play because that record, I can't remember how many games it is now. Somebody might put it in the chat below actually, but it's not a great record. I've got to be quite honest. Totally thought he was going to be a lot better than what he was. I thought he was going to be a decent signing, but actually he's been pretty poor.
Yeah, he's always been kind of one of them players. I mean, I remember when he was at Forest. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? And you know, I kind of like the look of him at times, but yeah, just never really materialized, unfortunately. Obviously, we spoke a bit on the video that's going up on your channel about Leicester's danger players. I don't know how much you have seen of Leicester this season. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not much, but yeah, who's giving you who's worrying you about the Leicester squad?
Yeah, but it's funny. I crazily watched back the highlights of both the games we played against you last season and tried to pick out how he hurt us last season. It was Mavididi. Every time I saw him last season in the Championship, I thought he was really good. I don't know how he stepped up to the Premier League, but I thought he was very good against us last year. Him and Fatu, who caused us endless problems. I'll be surprised if they both didn't play against us at the weekend. I know you said that Fatu has not been playing a lot this year, but obviously a very, very good player. Winks was good in all the games against us in central midfield. I thought he dictated both games, and when I watched them back, he was lit. Everything went through him for Leicester and the way they play, and he opened up the pitch and he created so much space for his teammates. So obviously he's not playing. Obviously Vardy, I think Vardy, if you sing about his wife, he usually gets quite angry. So hopefully our fans don't sing about his wife in the Northern Wall at the weekend, and he doesn't get too angry. But no, but is it Buonanotte? However,
Buonanotte. Yeah, Buonanotte.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen of him, and I've looked at the player statistics, he's got the best XG, scoring goals. Looks a real deadly player in the highlights reels that I've seen. He looks a player that we should be very, very wary of at the weekend.
It's very funny that you mentioned Fatawu, Winks, and Mavididi because honestly, mate, it would be very Steve Cooper to not play any of them against you guys this weekend because there's been a running theme where Steve Cooper, when he joined the football club, said like, I've watched every game of last season, and then he goes and just drops our best players from last season, which is crazy. But I think Mavididi will play. I think he will play. I don't think Fatawu will, and I don't think Winks will. So I imagine it will be Mavididi to try and cause some trouble against it. Jordan Ayew probably will start the game on that right hand side with Buonanotte in the 10. So again, I imagine it'll be unchanged as long as there's no injuries or hold-ups with any of the players that have gone on international duty. Because we have got a few. I think Ndidi's gone. He's obviously been caught up in a bit of trouble this week. Buonanotte went away. Wout Faes went away. Vestergaard went away. Hermansen went away. So yeah, we have lost a few, but hopefully they come back all fresh. Martin, I wanted to ask you now, obviously, the score predictions, which we always go to on the opposition preview. So I'll start. I actually said on Martin's video that it's the first win that I predict of the season. I've said a draw or a loss every single game this season, I believe. And this time I'm going to say a 2-1 Leicester City win. Unfortunately, not a 9-0 win, as Camo says there. But I don't think we could put you through it again. But yeah, a 2-1 Leicester win for me. What about you?
Well, I've got to go with my heart. I want my team to win, and I have to back my team to win. We have to find a win. We have to find a way to win. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Southampton win. So I'm going to go with a reverse of you. I think deep down in my head, though, I wouldn't be surprised to see this one being a draw, or 1-1, 2-2. I think it'd be quite a cagey affair. I think it'd be quite tight. I think we'll be edgy. I wouldn't like to see Leicester score the first goal in this because I think that would really heap the pressure. So you know what St Mary's can be like. Certainly when we've had some tough moments, it's not a particularly nice place. The whole acoustics of that stadium have changed. So for any Leicester fan coming to St Mary's, it has changed because the away fans have been moved to the south stand. They're not in the northern stand anymore. So they've created a whole standing stand for Southampton fans in the northern. It creates an okay atmosphere. I wouldn't say it was unbelievable by any stretch of the imagination. But the away fans at the other end, they can create a really good atmosphere down there. And don't know, it doesn't quite feel the same there this season. So I hope that you don't score the first goal and that we do. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it a draw. I'm going a long way around about giving you a score prediction, but 2-1 Saints.
You've got one of them flat pack IKEA stadiums like us, they're pretty similar. Yeah, not the nicest of stadiums, but yeah, it is what it is. All right then, Martin. I know you've got to shoot off soon, so I'm going to let you go now, mate. So thanks so much for coming on. As we said at the start, and if you can't remember, please rewind to start. Martin says exactly where you can find him, so please do that. Go and subscribe, go and follow on Twitter, all of that stuff. And as we said, there will be a video going up on his platform soon. So cheers, Martin. Thank you so much, mate. Cheers. Bye, Martin. Thanks again to Martin for coming on. Yeah, lovely bloke, as Akif says here. I want to talk a little bit more, which is why I didn't end it there for a few more minutes. So please get your comments in. Let me know exactly what you want to talk about. I'm going to just try and do that. Does that look okay? I don't know if it does. Yeah, let's go with it. Let's get some comments in. El Job Centrino on Saturday. El Sakiko. That's the best one to go with. I was going to, Akif, mate. Yeah, I was going to talk about this. We're going to sack your manager for you this weekend. Don't you worry. I did say that on the video with Martin that we've had history of sacking managers. We sacked Jose Mourinho as well. Do you remember that? So, yeah. Let's have a little talk about this, guys. I mean, the Wilfred Ndidi situation is very, very bizarre. Let me try and just bring something up that I can actually share on screen. Let's try to do that now. Let's go with Nigeria football. Let's go with that. That should bring something up. Share the screen. Share screen. Is that it? There we go. So yeah, so this is the pilot talking about yeah. Okay, so what happened was the Libyan Football Federation reports about the Nigeria trip. The Libyan private plane was intentionally diverted to an airport about 250 kilometers away from the city where the match was scheduled to be held. The Nigerian authorities intentionally delayed the Libyan team's entry procedures for about 4 hours. So this was the first leg. So this is Libya being hard done to. There were no officials from Nigeria's Football Federation to welcome the Libyan team. There were no delays on the buses. The security forces demanded money to escort the team. The bus driver used dirt roads to delay the arrival of the team to their destination. Bandits stopped the Libyan delegation and demanded money to allow them to proceed. And the Nigerian security escorted the delegation through dark roads for about 5 hours. So this is the video of the Libyan national team being hard done to in Nigeria. And then, of course, what happened was this. So let's try and find a good one here. There's some weird things being said here. So the Nigerian squad were completely stranded in a Libyan airport for over 16 hours, and there was no food and drink available. The players have all come out on social media and criticized the inhumane conditions that they were in. So this was them at the airport in Nigeria. I think Victor Boniface was one of the biggest speakers online about it, Osman as well. But Wilfred Ndidi did come out and say that he fears for his life. That was the last time that Ndidi spoke about it. It looks like so Premier League star claims he's been held hostage in Libya as Nigeria's squad are left stranded at airport with no food and drink amid row over poor treatment during reverse fixture. So yeah, it's interesting. The pilot has said something here. I'm not sure what he said exactly, but it looks like he's explained what happened. Apparently, they were diverted as well, right, to the wrong airport and just kept there. So it's a weird one. Crazy that happens in football in 2024. How does it affect Leicester City? Well, maybe it doesn't affect Leicester City in any way, shape, or form. The worry is that Wilfred Ndidi now might have a delayed return. The fact is they haven't played the game against Libya. That's just been abandoned. They are now in Nigeria. So really, you'd think there shouldn't be any problem with him coming back and featuring this weekend. There shouldn't be a problem, but it is wild what has happened over in Africa. Yeah, imagine if that's something like that happened in Europe. It just never would. So it's a shame. It's a shame it happens. I quite like watching African Cup of Nations. I like Nigeria. Obviously, we've been linked with them for many of years now with Iheanacho and Ndidi. Ahmed Musa. Remember Musa. But yeah, it is worrying just that could happen because you'd never know. Just another day in AFCON, 100%. I'll go get Ndidi, guys. Don't worry, 100%. It's slightly hypocritical. However, it's neither of the squad's fault. It's wholly on the football associations of those countries and the governing body of the AFCON. Yeah, 100%. I would like to give my opinion on what team I would like to see play against the Saints, even knowing Cooper won't. Costa, I'm going to say to you, I don't even mean this in like a funny way. I'm being serious. Hold it, park it for Friday. On Friday, there will be a live stream, like I do most Fridays when I'm not in Turkey, where we will actually build a team together. So on Friday at 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'll let you guys know, we will do a live stream where we will have lineup builder up and we will build the starting 11. We got it spot on. We got it spot on for the Arsenal game. We got it bang on the money. That's the last time I did it. So we will see if we do it again. Thank you, Akif, mate. Thank you. One of my favorite types of streams. Absolutely. It's always a good one. It's always a good one. This game is a stick to beat Cooper with. To be honest, we beat them 9-1 on aggregate last season. Anything less than 3 points is unacceptable. Okie dokie. Cheers, Costa, mate. Please make sure you're there. Let's say 7. Let's say 7 o'clock Friday. That'll be perfect. Let's say that. If Cooper keeps it unchanged and we don't see any Ricky, it is fair to assume Ricky won't play any minutes this season. A Southampton win. Are we really that crap under Cooper that the Southampton fans think they're going to beat us? We'll see. We'll see. 16 hours trapped in Libya and had him fearing for his life. Yeah, I know. Sorry, yeah, for fuck's sake. Anil says, if Luke thinks Daka is a donkey, imagine him with Musa. Yeah, 100%. Jesus Christ. When Ahmed Musa gave us dreams, he sold us a dream. Do you remember he scored that? Was it? He scored twice against Barcelona in preseason. We were like, oh my God, this guy's incredible. And he turned out to be the biggest donkey I have ever seen. That was just a horrific time, wasn't it? We had Musa, we had Luis Hernandez, we had Diabate, we had Gazal. Can you remember Gazal? Jesus Christ, Gazal. Gazal was mental. Wishful thinking, Clemmy, mate. Yeah. Similar profiles, Daka in Spartak Moscow, Musa in Barca. That's interesting, actually, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. Slimani, who we failed. I agree, we failed Slimani. Won the league and spat the money on Slimani and Musa. It's madness, isn't it? We're going, this stream's taken a left turn. Mahrez of Timu. Yeah, Rashid Ghazal was the Mahrez of Timu, 100%. Again, cheers to Ant as well. Ant's Leicester fan channel is back on YouTube. Long time coming. Make sure to subscribe if you don't already, because I'm sure you already do. He's been on YouTube. Well, he's had a channel much longer than I do. So I'm sure you already do subscribe. But if not, please hit subscribe and go check him out. Right, guys, that is the end of the stream. But stay there. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. So tomorrow we have Fox's Den at 7 p.m. I've lost it. There it is. Tomorrow we have Fox's Den at 7. Hold on a sec. What's this? Ryan Bennett. We've got Fox's Den episode 7 tomorrow at 7 p.m. We have Match Day Live on Saturday starting from 2:45. But more importantly, tonight, yes, you heard that right. Tonight, in 29 minutes, I will be over on Sportser YouTube. So if you don't know who Sportser YouTube is, I'm sure you do. He's on Fox's Den every week. Sportser YouTube, search that in on YouTube. You will find Josh Sportser's YouTube channel. He is going live at 8 p.m. and I will be there. 8 o'clock. So you've got 29 minutes to wait. I will be on his channel. And we'll be talking all things Leicester versus Southampton. So please, if you have some spare time at 8 o'clock, make sure to join that one. Leave some comments. Oh, here's something for you. There's 24 people in the chat. First of all, hit the like button. Second of all, on Friday at 8 o'clock, when we start, so don't do it before, but when we start, spam the chat with Blue Tinted Army. It's cringe, but just do it. Blue Tinted Army. I want you to spam Josh's chat at 8 when he goes live. When he goes live with Blue Tinted. I mean, not too much spamming, but just a little bit. You know, make him know. Don't spam it for an hour, but yeah, that's the end of the stream, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. Much appreciated. Thanks to Martin for jumping on. Thanks to all the comments, all of that stuff. And I shall see you in 28 minutes on Josh's channel. Cheers. Bye-bye.